GM. Welcome to Money Monday. Great to see you all.
Hey, Michael.
GM Pete, good morning. Good
Morning.
morning.
Hey, did you want to talk about that camp out at Hiram Reservoir in Logan?
Tell us about it.
Well, we're having a group get together like we did at Dayton Parks, but this was so large last time. We're renting the entire wing of the reservoir for $40 a family for the whole weekend. That's a pretty good deal. But I thought maybe we'd let the people know about it locally, or if people want to come in, like Dane and Mitch, and the other guys will be coming in. So let them know it's coming up. Right now, we only have 6 people registered. We got to get more people registered, or we won't be able to get the reservation. We need to get the money in pretty soon. I think it's 6. There's maybe more than we don't have enough people registered right now to get the reservation. We'll have to cancel the whole thing. We don't get more people registered soon. But September 12th and 14th, that ought to be a hoot on a reservoir. That's how I mentioned it.
On the reservoir. Okay. Excuse me. Yep, space is limited to 100 people. Interesting. Yeah, last time we maxed the place out. So all right, got a spreadsheet up here. Yeah, folks. We brought this up on Wednesday. We were talking with Dane about it too. He's saying next year we'll do it at his house. So that's exciting. But one other point I wanted to make is that people made money because of the camp out.
Oh yeah, it was valuable, and just the networking opportunities, rubbing elbows with people who've done what you want to do. And it's great being able to hear their perspectives. Like Dane and your perspectives, it's just amazing. And Dane is like anybody can do it if he can do it.
Yeah, it was great because we had a different schedule, right? We had networking, we had the dinner, we had lessons, we had breakout groups, we had the speaker panel, the whole thing, folks. So if you want to come, join us.
Yellow line's how to register right there. It's yellow highlighted.
Got it. Okay. Also, big shout out to Tamara Hamblin. Okay, she's the one that's been putting all this stuff together. So we got the potluck, kids activity. Ooh, we got the schedule. Is it already made? Supplies, volunteer sign up. See, look at this. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is great. Oh yeah, we also have some music and entertainment as well. Potluck. Awesome. So folks, we're promoting this for 2 reasons. One, we like having fun. Let's have some fun. The all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so let's have some fun.
And
Second thing is
Tamara's been doing this in spite of being sick all the time too. She's had medical issues and she still fought through. She really believes in this.
Yep. It's and that's the other thing too, is that yeah, we could do this same thing at the community college or on a Zoom, right? We could have Jared come out and Mitch come out and Nate come out. We could do it on Zoom. But folks, we're not robots, right? We thrive with relationship building. That was the key difference for our ancestors, is those who could make relationships and those who couldn't. They're either here or they're not, right? Their lineage. It's all about relationships. How you relate to people, how they relate to you, how do they know you? I'm telling you, I made a boatload of new friends at the last one, at the last camp out, because Mitch and Maley went on this, enrolling spree, started enrolling everybody, and I hadn't met a bunch of them. So when I came to the camp out, we had a blast. Let me paste this link in the chat here. You guys can get to work registering. But some of the people that I met there are now like friends and people that I talk with on a daily basis, or at least a weekly basis. Did that link copy correctly? Doesn't look like it. Let's try that again. Copy, clean, link address. Paste. That's not a clean link. Get out of here. I don't know. You guys can't see what I'm seeing right now. Anyway, how are you going to get better at building relationships if you stay home? And we did a cross-country road trip. Like I drove for 4 days to get to the camp out. And then we camped out for 3 days. And then I drove like 7 days home camping. And I did a 2-week camperoonie all across America. So I double dipped on it. And I think this. Yeah, I'll take this. There we go. This is the link I want. So there were a few ICMs who brought GM Steve, GM Pete. There were a few ICMs who brought guests. GM Deborah. And those guests ended up signing up. And then a few people who were on the edge, they had their essentials only. They're like, I don't know, should I, shouldn't I? Is this real? Is this not? And then they learned like, yeah, this is legit. The community, the people, the content, the experience, the results. We have undeniable results. Wow. All right, natus.com. I would have loaded faster. And that brings me to one of the teaching points I wanted to talk about today is people who are trying to answer the question, should I enroll, should I not? By the way, myrenatus.com, the very first thing that loads up is the Walk of Fame, and that's where all the proof that you need is right there. So share that with people. Yeah, there's Mr. Snyder. Freaking awesome. Okay, so GM. Wow, look at all these other people that are here. Great to see you all. When we are talking about Renatus and why people should get involved and why we are different and what they can get from it, when I'm overhearing new students talk about it, new ICMs, new recruiters, they're saying like too much of the how. How? Well, you're going to take classes. How? You're going to come to study groups. How? You're going to, take pre-tests and post-tests, and you're going to, all the hows, it doesn't trigger anything for people. It doesn't, make their heart beat with excitement. It doesn't stir their blood. Instead, during your communication, focus on what they're going to get from it, what they're going to feel by going through, after the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, after their first year, their second year, after they cash a big check or they get their first, rent income, lease option payment. Describe the feeling and what life is going to be like when this becomes a business and not just a fantasy. Focusing on what life will be like. That's what got me going. Okay. It wasn't, we have an instructional system design method that proven track record to help students get results. I didn't care about that. I wanted to know that I could walk into a dealership and buy whatever car I wanted. That was the result I was looking for. Right. And now I have a 52-year-old classic muscle car Americana and $200,000 car sitting in my new garage. I was a bum riding a bus and a bike to 2 jobs before I found this company. So it wasn't that they were like, we're going to give you a monthly Super Saturday. That didn't get me. What got me was when I go to the grocery store or to the mall, I don't have to look at a price tag. I hated looking at price tags. It was one of those things. It was like, trying to go up against my abundance mindset, and then you look at the price tag, and then you look at your wallet. Ah, I like living a life where I don't have to look at a price tag. That was the result or anchored for me. And then of course being a stay-at-home parent, even though I didn't even have any kids, and it would be over a decade before I even have a kid. One of my goals was to be a stay-at-home parent. So thinking about that life, right? Like the average American dinner, folks, now is 12 minutes. In the 1960s, it was 90 minutes. Those, I mean, that's how we create bonds, solve problems, learn about each other. Like every day, kids are growing, right? And so I wanted to be like, I don't want a 12-minute meal. Heck, when I was growing up, it was 1 minute. It was just grab the hamburger helper and go sit in front of the TV. So the life by design is what drew me through all the classes, all the challenges, all the late nights, early mornings. There were some days where I went 48 hours without sleep, but I loved it because we were working on a mission, and I was being pulled by what I'm getting from it, not the structure of Renatus. And so my whole point on this morning, on this part of today's call, is help describe to people what life will be like. You'll make way more sales that way. What will life be like when you're surrounded with professionals, when you're surrounded with people of integrity that have a bigger purpose in life than just the next paycheck? That stirs people's blood. That's what gets people up out of their house to meetings, to workshops, to campouts, whatever it is. So I was thinking about that today. Is like, how much am I going to spend time on, for example, how to get to the campsite, right? If I spent the next 20 minutes on how the camp out looks and structures and how we're going to get there, and half of you guys would leave the call, or you'd be like, that wasn't really what I was looking for, right? If I went in detail, we're going to go to Google Drive or Google Maps, and we're going to type this in, and then you're going to go. You don't want that, and neither do your customers when it comes to figuring out if Renatus is for them. Instead, what do we focus on? The outcome, the benefits, the experience. When we do our roundtable panel discussion and there's no censoring, those things get pretty wild. It's going to be a ton of fun. And you're going to learn a lot more about the people that you're working with, right? Like you see names on here. You see Corinne, and you see Freddie, and you see Ben, and you see Emily, and you see Owner and iPhone. Sorry, I got to make fun of a few of you. That dynamic changes, and all of a sudden, it's not just knowing that one person, but it's knowing who they know, and it adds to your network like crazy. So come to the camp out. GM Eric, how are you? What do you got in your hands? Oh, he got it. Nice. I see got the physical form. That is such a great conversation starter. So Eric picked up last week. We talked about the book that Bob Snyder published for Amazon, the 25 cash saving strategies. Written by a decamillionaire. So anyway, it's a nice little book. I think it was $9 or $10 or something like that. Anyway, it's a great conversation starter, a great giveaway, a great it's about curiosity. How am I going to save my money? And these principles really do add up to a different life. If you don't, man, our society is so set up for extracting that if you don't pay attention, even you could be making $100,000-$200,000 a year and be broke. It's so designed for extraction. You have to defend your dollars. So that's a great book.
Hey,
GM, go ahead.
yeah, man, I was reading through the book. It was such gems in it, man. And I was wondering, I don't know when this was actually sent out. I think they print on demand with these. It looks like in the back of the book. But Is there some way we can get like an ebook that we can give this to people, or as a lead magnet or something like that? Or was this used once upon a time like that?
Yeah, yeah, there is a PDF version of it in your back office. Well, maybe it's in your back office. If you did the summit,
You can also give Audible gift cards for the book too, that they can redeem for the book on Audible.
I
Ah,
don't think this book is on Audible. The Drive book is, but Pete, not the tax or the cash saving.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay, I'll quit looking for it.
Yeah, it's not really the Audible type of book. It's more like a manual. Do you imagine the 1973 Mustang Mitchell book manual on Audible? Chapter 3, Gaskets and Seals. All right, it's right here. 25
We need the
strategies.
chapter on financial troubleshooting.
When in doubt, pull the dipstick out. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, it's
and
right
that's
here.
only for the summit people? Or
Yeah, remember we did the summit. It was like 99 bucks. And then if you paid an extra 30 bucks, you got the notes and the book.
oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't go to the summit, so
Oh, you didn't go to the summit. Let me see if this link is because it says user my purchase. We'll see. We'll see. If this works, then you will have the PDF you so desire. Thank you, Janet. I just saw your comment. Appreciate it. And Deborah said she just ordered a bunch to give away.
yeah, they like $7, $8.
Sweet. Now, if you act like you have to give away $7 each time you give the link away, but okay, awesome. Bruce, the link works. Okay, don't give away the link. Download it, attach it to an email, and put a nice description, a call to action. Hop on a 30-minute call with me, something. Take a look at this book. If you like this, you're going to love the next thing. You should get
Gotcha.
used to that line. If you like this, you're going to love that. Yeah, so please don't send the link. It won't be nearly as effective as sending an email with the PDF. Or if you have an iPhone or WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, they take PDF attachments real easy, and so you could text it too. But send the file. Don't send the link. It's way more personal. It's more valuable. It's more what's the word? It feels more scarce. Obviously, it's not. It's digital, right? But it just feels like a little more effort went into it instead of just sending a link. But
Adds value.
the values, yeah, and it makes the person feel like you care a little bit more. You gave them something versus just forwarded a link.
Right, but you can follow up with emails at least for you know.
Yeah,
So I appreciate this, man.
yeah, happy to help. Let's get it going, folks. This is the year of the turnaround. Well, I guess last year was the turnaround, and now we're ramping up.
Get her done.
Yeah, buddy. Sweet. So if you're not a part of the Renatus Team Elevate Facebook group, it's a combination of many teams. Over the years, we've combined. So there's a lot of road team. There's a lot of the California team, a lot of the Florida and Atlanta team. We're all here. So it's not really a team anymore in like one person's team. It's the whole team. It's a nice spot where you can learn. You can see the different flyers and stuff that we're also making. Different ways that we're doing promotions. And hey, that's awesome. Congrats, guys. Property tour stuff. Scott Buckholtz. Amazing. Amazing. So you could take all these flyers that Scott just posted. Look at all these flyers. Boom, boom, boom. Put all these flyers in one email and just say, hey, if you're not in a community that's constantly showing you how to make millions of dollars consider hopping on a call with me. And I know Brigham is one of those people who's going to speak on international stages all over the world for the rest of his life. He's been a performer, an actor, a playwright. Obviously, he's a real estate investor with our group's got a lot of units. But he's created something about how you could use your story better. We all have amazing stories. So follow Brigham. Elizabeth, congrats to you. Yep. So anyway, use this as another resource. But like I was saying earlier, one of the benefits, or one of the things you'll get if you switch how you talk about Renatus, you're going to make more sales. You talk about what you're going to get. Like when I talk about velocity banking and I bring up Aubrey and Nate's story, and I talk about how they paid off a boatload of debt in a fraction of the time, right? 25 years of debt, they paid off in like a year and a half, something like that. Maybe even less. 9 months is something that's ringing a bell. But my point is, I didn't say Aubrey logged into some classes and Aubrey got out a spreadsheet. Aubrey punched in a bunch of numbers and Aubrey did some calculations. No, I say Aubrey joined our program, followed the system, and in less than a year paid off tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Aubrey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you there it is, 85,000 in 11 months. That would have taken 6 years. So that's what 15% of the time? What would have taken 6 years, she did in less than 1 year. So this is why we're saying use the story side of what's happening, not the how. Okay. You don't want to read the user's manual. You want to know what it's like to hit the gas and put the window down and turn the stereo up. You don't want to read the shop manual about, the viscosity of your transmission fluid. Nobody cares about that. They want to know, does it go fast when I hit the gas? And for, the education world, they want to know, will I make my money back? Will I get out of the rat race? Will it be worth it? That's what they want to know. They don't want to know. I mean, it's great to say, hey, we got best of state for adult education 7 years in a row. We got best of state for CEO of the year. Inc. 5000 several years in a row, 14-year BBB A+ rating. Some people care, but most people want to know, what am I going to get from it? So I got the intellectuals care. That's right, Matt. They want to know the proof, but everyone else just wants to know what are we going to get. The relators want to know who they get to network with. But we got to make sure people are clear on when you're speaking. If I'm listening to your prospecting call, you're calling your 10 prospects for the day, and you're describing the Renatus program, wasting your time. You need to be painting a picture of the future. Painting a picture of the future. What will it look like when you don't have to wake up to an alarm clock? For me to get to my job on time, I had to set an alarm clock for 5:45, 6 o'clock. And I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get to a life where I didn't have to do an alarm clock. I remember Bob Snyder saying something about the first week after he quit his jobs and went full-time in entrepreneurship. He said, someone asked him what time he gets up now. He says, I get up when I'm done sleeping. That's a status right there. I get up when I'm done sleeping. So what are you going to get out of it? So come to the camp out. You're going to get relationships, training, encouragement, excitement, support, aha moments. And if you bring a guest or two, you make some sales. People want to know if it's real, if it's authentic. Yep, it's going to work. So analyze your own language. If you want to record some of your calls and send them to me, I can do some analysis and give you guys some feedback. Also, as we get closer to Camp Out, to E3, to the different promotions and stuff that we're doing, I'm going to be sending out some emails with Calendly links for like if you need help with a one-on-one or you got a customer that's got a question. Tamara uses that feature all the time. Who else does? Freddie has used it plenty. Steve, Carla, especially Pete. So some of you that want my help with a phone call, if you've had a guest that's gone through an event but still hasn't decided to buy, I would love to talk to them. I will help them find a way and find the reasons why they should get involved, help them pay for it. And then to like Aubrey's example here, the $25,000 program that she joined was included in that $85,000 that she paid off. So she paid off her education, student loans, credit card debt, this, that, and the other in less than a year. What would that be like to just shed all that weight, that anchor, and really take off? It's going to work. Yeah. Yep. Okay. A couple things in the news. It looks as though there's going to, I mean, they're not going to announce it until they announce it, which will be September 17th. But it looks like the Federal Reserve is going to be lowering rates. If we get two this year, great, but chances are very high we're going to get one. And do you know what that's going to do to liquidity? As soon as these rates drop, banks start printing money, more people start borrowing cheaper money, refi, cash out, buy this, buy that. We're going to have a liquidity explosion like crazy. Think about this. In the last 2 years, stock market hit all-time high. Gold hit all-time high. Real estate hit all-time high. Bitcoin hit all-time high. Right, and in the stocks is S&P, NASDAQ, Dow. All-time highs in the last 2 years during quantitative tightening when they didn't print the money the same way and when they were very restrictive about how many dollars they were minting. Those four major categories, which are signals of, economic health, screaming up the last 2 years without rate cuts, without extra liquidity. So while they're screaming up and we get rate cuts, guys, we are about to see an explosion of value and economics that we haven't seen before. It is literally going to be like the Roaring 20s. We had a rough start, right? The 2020 was a rough start compared to 1920. But my point is, we're going to look back at the last 5 years of the 2020s and say, holy moly, those of you who played, you dug in, you watched your classes, you made your freaking offers, hundreds of offers, over the next 5 years, maybe even 1,000 offers. You're going to look back and either think, thank God, or damn it. You're going to say, hallelujah, I did it, I persevered, or you're going to say, man, how did 5 years go by so quick? Why do I still have a job that I hate? If you love your job, good for you. Go for it. But the next 5-ish years are going to be wild. Position yourself accordingly. Maximize your education. Recently, I deleted all. Well, I told you guys before, I'm curating how my phone works, right? Because we can't just let the bombardment, like seriously, even the little red dot, that little red dot that's on the icon of the app has been scientifically engineered to make sure it triggers something in you. So I turned all of those off. When I open my phone, there's no buzzes, there's no flashes, there's no click on me's, nothing. So, no Facebook on my phone, no YouTube on my phone, never had Instagram on my phone or TikTok. But I recently put X on my phone about 6 months ago. And then I noticed I was hanging out in the real estate space, looking at everything. And then I realized the urge to look at the phone. It wasn't necessarily the content, it was the urge that I was noticing in me to look at the phone. And you know what happens when you do that is you waste this precious thing called life, the time that you have. And anyway, took the app off my phone. All of a sudden, I'm way more productive, way more aware. I'm sharing this with you because the serotonin and the oxytocin that flows in your brain because of the things you do or don't do gets manipulated by your phone, and then you psych yourself out into being productive. Serotonin is a mechanism, supposedly, that evolution put inside of us to reward life furthering behavior, right? If you do something smart, you do something, you make a friend, you get even a smile from a stranger, you get some serotonin and oxytocin. These things are life giving, life not saving, but life enhancing, life supportive. And so you get the feeling, and then you keep doing it so you can stay alive and pass your genes on and life can continue. So important. But the phone hijacked that part of our brain, and now we get a false sense of accomplishment. Trapped. A false sense of accomplishment. The thing that drove our genetics forward through all kinds of adversity and dangers, and dopamine too. Yes, Emily, thank you. Those things were put in the triggers of the phones and the iPads. And then you psych yourself out and you think you're doing stuff. You're not. And then you look back at your week and your month and you go, wow, what did I get done? I had this weird feeling of accomplishment, but if I have to go and report it to anyone what I did, not there. So I shot my TV with a shotgun, threw my Xbox in a bonfire. So I'm hypersensitive to the hijacking, and I was just imagining, like, man, this has happened to me. How else is everyone doing? Are you guys looking at your phone with disgust? Ugh, this thing. Thinking about switching to a landline and a walkie-talkie. Yeah, you call the operator, hit me up on my walkie. Dopamine is the hijacking and is replacing the serotonin and oxytocin. Got it. Yeah, I mean, oxytocin is magical. It flows in your blood if you see someone give someone else a hug. If you see someone else pet a dog, oxytocin flows. It's a magical thing. But if your main source of these chemicals is because you're playing on your phone, you're not living. You're literally like that human in the pod with all the tubes connected to it in the Matrix. You know, just the energy of your heart beating is getting extracted to feed a machine, but you're not living. So delete the apps, turn the notifications off, black everything out, do not disturb most of the time. Or, bedazzle it, make it pretty, show off your digital leash, and tell everyone, I sleep with my phone in my hand. I do everything with my phone in my hand. No, don't do that. Get rid of it. It's a tool. Use it. Don't let it use you. Slippery slope. Some of you know what I'm talking about. It's a slippery slope. Others of you have the discipline and couldn't be bothered by the phone, and you know it's just a tool for calling and research. So, rant over. Next. All right, Pete says, how do I get around the Renatus related Facebook groups? I want to get rid of the apps, but I need to stay with the group. Perfect. So, I don't know how to do it on the phone, so I don't have it on my phone. But on the browser, let me show you. Switch over to the screen share real quick. When I'm in the browser, first of all, you should be using Brave browser and nothing else because everyone else steals your data and sells it. And you're being tracked. It's crazy. DuckDuckGo used to be the thing, but they've been hijacked. Look at this, 42,000 trackers and ads blocked because of this browser that I started using about 6 months ago. Anyway, back to Facebook. When I load Facebook, this is what I see. I wish I could get rid of the sponsored thing, but whatever. But I don't have a reels. I don't have triggers. I got a quote. Hey, every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Wonderful. The app that does this is called the Newsfeed Eradicator. They got one for Instagram. They got one for LinkedIn now as well. But if you just go to, what's going on here? New tab. Newsfeed Eradicator, right there. $5 word, Eradicator. Now it's on the Google Chrome store, but you can put it on Brave. So it's grayed out because I already have it on here. But let me share this in the link too. And so part of when, yeah, dude, I just don't do it on my phone. The phone is too, what's the word? Too controlled. So I will go to the laptop. If I have to do it on my phone, I don't think I've been in a situation where I got to be on my phone to do it. So that's the key right there. Newsfeed Eradicator. And then when you're on YouTube, the other one is called Unhook. Unhook. So then when you pull up YouTube, it just looks like this. Because you know YouTube is owned by Google, and Google has been spying on you since the year 2000 and knows about you. Okay? It's insane what they know about you, what you're going to do, what you feel like doing, your impulse, your weakness. Off. You didn't sign up for it. They stole your data. They use it against you. I think it's unethical, but that's where we're at. Anyway, this was just our groovy music that we were listening to this morning. So it'll pick up where we left off. But other than that, when I log into YouTube, this is it right here, folks. A blank screen so that I can stay in control of why I opened up the tool called YouTube. Why am I on YouTube? Most of it's going to be Invest Edge, right? The generally speaking, Renatus stuff. Yeah, that's about it. So Unhook is also a fantastic tool to stay in control of your brain. And then you just add it to your, what do they call this? Shortcuts? Is that what they call this? No, extensions. Extensions. Okay. Got some questions in the chat here. Brave, Chromium, Facebook doesn't have. Data mining, Emily knows. Okay, so we got a few more minutes before we got to go. We talked about the Facebook, talked about the camp out, TikTok, next block.
Should we hold off on getting loans to see if the interest rate drops?
Yeah.
No, start now and look at your banker with a devilish grin. Start on my file now. By the time you're done, rates will have been dropped.
Can I say something real quick? This is Tim.
Let's hear it, Tim. GM.
Yeah. About the good morning. Yeah. Hey, about the rates. The market already reflects the anticipated rate drop. So even if the rate drops, you're still like what we're seeing now are what the rates are going to be like anyway. And so because it's not the rates that dictate the mortgage rates, it's the 10-year treasury bond that does, and that's already reflected. And so now's a good time as any.
So essentially what you're saying is it's already priced in.
Exactly.
It's all already priced in. Yeah, the efficient market hypothesis, right? And there's a joke here I wanted to share with somebody. See if I can find it in the next 5 seconds or no. But yeah, it's already priced in. So Tim, knowing that, what are you doing differently over the next 30, 60, 90 days?
Well, talking about Renatus. Getting people.
Yeah.
But on top of that too, like I've also I do have a license, so I'm helping some of my friends get into their first home. So letting them know, hey, let's get in now while like people are a little bit of afraid, get a good deal. And so in anticipation of the future, this will probably be worth, 20, 30, 40% more in 5 years. So let's get in now. That's kind of what one of the things of the side hustle.
Awesome. Cool, man. That's the perfect answer. What are you going to do? I'm going to talk about Renatus. Sweet. One last interesting idea is something called the power law. The power law. And it falls into this law of large numbers, where if you do something often enough, you're going to hit a home run. Okay? You don't try to hit a home run every time. Singles still score. But what's going to happen is you're going to have these, let's talk about rentals. You're going to have a bunch of rentals that produce $200, $300, $400 a month, just consistently. And then there'll be some that go, whoa, I make $2,000 a month off of this one. And you're going to try to recreate that. And you're going to think that that is now the new norm. But what I'm trying to prepare your mind for is to not take unnecessary risk to try to get that big gain again. Okay? The way the real estate markets and economy is set up is you're only getting big cash flows if you get deep discounts. Okay? So I want to make sure you guys are focusing more on the discount instead of the cash flow. If you run side-by-side scenarios, properties you pay retail price, the cash flow, or the discounts, you will have a completely different life 10 years from now. So focus on discounts. Yes, it's a bull market. Yes, real estate is on a tear, but there are still people who are dealing with the 4 Ds of a motivated seller, right? Death, divorce, disaster, and disability. Those things are going to happen whether the market's up or down. So what problem are you solving with your real estate business? You know, mine right now is I serve travelers, right? I got some short-term rentals. I got a mobile home park, so I'm serving some just residents of our town. I got some land. I'm serving the deer and the turkeys. But then also we got those 2 commercial projects where we're going to put an apartment building on there. But before we just go put a template apartment building on there, I want it to be extraordinary. So how else are we going to serve not just the people, but the street, the town, the city? So who is your business serving? You know, Bill's business, of course, with the short-term rentals and all that too, but new construction, his business is serving both sides of the real estate market, right? The retail side from when someone goes and buys it, but then also the construction workers, the builders, the designers. That's his customer too, as a new build. So who's your customer? Who are you serving? Dane, serving home buyers, mortgage lenders, realtors. This cool combination of strategies. So who are you serving? And what kind of discount do you need? For things that you're going to hold long term, 30% discount. For things you're going to flip, you need a 40 or 50% discount. Cash flow is great, but think about this too as we're wrapping up. The liquidity that's coming and the money printing, those dollars are going to be absorbed by the real estate market, and the price is going to go up. You know, the value is not going to go up, right? It's still just sticks, bricks, and some shingles. The value is not going to go up, but the price is going to go up. So when that happens, your purchase price compared to the new price is your safety, is your cushion, and it just gets better over time. So please focus on the discounts. We've got a whole track of classes called discount buying. And when you're talking about Renatus and selling it, recruiting it, letting everybody know. I went to an event over the weekend, and Benjamin was telling everyone, I'm a real estate investor, right? He's a fearless Boyle. He'll talk to anyone. My dad's a real estate investor. But that was too vague. And so people were like, well, what is that? What do you do? And so in one sentence, I capture everyone's attention. I focus on buying property at a discount. Discount buying, that's what we do. Yeah, we're real estate investors. We buy discounted properties. That's it. If you start talking about, well, I got this banking thing and this credit stuff and the retirement accounts, and it all stacks into this amazing web of impenetrable wealth creation for legacy, a little too much. And I say, I buy properties at a discount, and I learned how to do it through this incredible community. I'd love to, show you more about how that works. But what time does, and then you switch into whatever we're doing there. Don't turn it into a pitch. Keep the intrigue high. People want to know what you're doing. Okay. Your mantra is buy real estate at a discount, get educated, get obsessed with your classes, and defend your mind. Defend it against negativity, as well as the robots inside your phone. Play defense. The best offense is a good defense. Cool. All right, folks, I got to hop on the PAC call. But like I said, if you have customers or guests or somebody you need that needs a little push, an extra chat, let me know. Hit me up, and we'll schedule it. We'll make it happen. Awesome. All right, guys, 66 days to E3. Go sell some tickets and do your best. Try hard. Bye for now.
Thank you, Michael.
Appreciate you. Bye, guys.